Okay, your first steps to removing the control module for the airbags on the 2010 Toyota Prius starts down here, and it's going to be a long process. So we're going to go ahead and move this guy back. Look for some screws at the bottom. You got to remove this little felt pad. You got 4 bolts you got to remove. And then you'll have to pry off this little plastic piece right here, exposing one nut, attaching it to this console. And I'll show you what it's like after that. Alright, 4 bolts, or not bolt, yeah, 4 bolts removed. Let's go ahead and remove this plastic piece. Just find a little wedge. I think it's actually best if you hit it from here. Oh, maybe not. It's a little piece right here. You just gotta push down and pop out. There you go. So push in and down right here on this little nodule, and it should pop out. There you go. There's 1 bolt right there. That guy is a 10 millimeter. So are those 4 10 millimeters, 10 millimeters. You can basically get by with a 10 millimeter and a 12 millimeter to do this whole project. All right, now that you've got your 5 10 millimeter bolts out of this center console, you should be able to just work this guy out. Pull it backwards. You're gonna have a connector right here for your 12 volt connection. Go ahead and disconnect that guy. And let's get this center console, or this armrest console, out of the way. All right, now that you have your center armrest console out of the way, just gonna roll down here. There's gonna be some nuts you need to remove. So these are all 10 millimeter as well. I believe they are. Yep. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then just go ahead and disconnect these other connectors on these sensors. This guy you can just kind of leave here. Alright, let's go ahead and start pulling all of these guys off. Okay, getting that last bolt out. And you can go ahead and remove this little metal retaining bracket. I don't know exactly what that is. Now don't just get all antsy and start pulling off plastic pieces. I know they start to pry apart like this, but they're actually held together, if you can't see it up here, by some screws, which I have actually pre-loosened, which don't need to be done. Didn't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, there's some screws there. Don't go pulling these pieces off or you'll start damaging that. But we're gonna go ahead, go down here, remove the felt, exposing the 1 10 millimeter nut that's holding this whole plastic piece in place. Alright, alright, then we can go ahead, come down to the front here, pry off these little panels. They should just snap right off. There we go. And I'll expose, which is actually your computer module. It sits right back here. That's it right there. That little metal piece is your computer module. I'm gonna go ahead and take a flathead screwdriver, pop this little, rivet out, and we'll go ahead and remove this piece. All right, don't forget that when you have one on one side, you gotta do it to the other so you can free up this whole console. Once again, we remove this bolt, keeping this in place. Now we have to focus our attention back again to the screws that were up underneath here. And then you can go ahead and pop this guy out to the side, releasing some of the pressure on this guy because it's holding this entire module up in place. So go ahead and pop that guy, get the other side a little bit further down. But once again, there's another screw on the bottom side of this over here, so you can't fully remove it. But then you can at least get some play here to try to remove this console from the upper console, or this lower piece from the upper piece, and then it'll give you a little bit of play, so you can just pop this piece out, giving you complete exposure to your airbag control module. Alright, so once again, just go in here, remove 3 bolts. They're 12 millimeters, 1 right here, 2 in the back. It's probably easier to get to from this side right here, and even so, I'd get both of them from this side because the other side is congested with lines and brackets and stuff, so it's not very easy to get to. So just pull both these back bolts from back here on the left side of the driver's side. All right, let's go ahead and unbolt it and remove this module. All right. And then don't forget there's a safety retaining clip. I don't know if you guys can see that little white thing on top. There's a safety retaining clip that keeps this guy plugged in. So just go ahead and pop this guy in. There's a safety switch down, out. Then you can remove. Oops. Make sure you remove it all the way. There we go. Then you can pull this clip out and then remove your computer module all the way. All right, let's get that computer module out. Just another quick tip when you're putting these bolts back in on your computer module. I mean, just do it finger tight and then reach in with your wrench and try to give it a little bit of a snug, not too much of a snug. I mean, you want to be able to get these things off again later if you ever have to, if you get in another accident. So just go ahead, reach in from this side, put both of these bolts back in, and reach in with your ratchet and give it a little tug.